You can explain your own. You can't be on the show and not be obsessed.
I am a little obsessed, actually. You know, we've been doing a lot of talking about the show recently because people have a lot of questions, and I find it really easy to talk about this crazy thing because I love it so much. I am a little obsessed.
And we're hearing your voice, and so we have to go through that. And it's not this combination of Boston and Brooklyn that we hear when Morello speaks.
No.
It's not. So where is this? I hear you pretend to be from Australia.
I do. I found that, you know, a lot of Australian actors were getting work, and so I thought a really good idea would be to just pretend to be Australian and kind of come in through the back door.
But actually you were from Boston and Brooklyn.
Yes. Yeah,
no, lies. Yeah. We can hear. This is not Morello's voice.
It's not. It's not. I take great joy in that strange voice. I think it sort of arrived, definitely, you know, for the audition process for the show, I was kind of alone in my bedroom making strange sounds, as one does, and the voice it can't really be pinned down, and for some people that's upsetting for them, but I find that, you know, Lorna's this incredibly unique character. I found this incredibly unique sound, and something about it sat really well with this funny little character in the van talking about this wedding that seemed a little unlikely, even from the word get-go. You know, like, this is a woman in prison. She's planning her wedding like it's happening next week.
To Christopher.
Christopher. What a guy.
I just love to hear you say that. I think you're going to make people name their sons Christopher.
Christopher. Well, not with all the hate that I'm getting about Christopher. People, I mean, it's kind of extraordinary. People are writing to me just like, that Christopher, I'll get him. Tell me where he is and I'll find him.
Even though your character Morello is kind of bad crazy.
I know, and he really hasn't done anything wrong. Stephen O'Reilly, who plays Christopher, is a delightful young man, and Christopher, by all accounts, is just a nice guy living his life. Lorna's kind of causing the problems here, but I'm getting a lot of support.
Because we all love you. We don't want anyone to be mean. I know that she's crazy. But when you come in and you're doing this, you don't really know the backstory of Lorna. So you're just being told she wants to get married and she's still got Christopher. Yeah. And she's still going to do this. And then we find out other things about her, you know. Do you know that really early on, or did they tell you what was really her backstory?
I read that in the script
when
it arrived.
Well, I tease it, and it arrives when?
A week before we shoot.
Great.
I would not lie to you. Yeah.
And you said what when you read it?
I think I said and I also think I said, wow, and like, this is a great episode. I felt like,
it sure as hell is.
I have to like come up to the bar of this episode because it's pretty serious.
But we've watched you in season 1 and we're all saying, you know, she's got it together. I don't know why she's even in this prison.
Did you really feel like that?
Well, I felt like, well, they let you drive the van.
It's true. She has a lot of responsibility.
They give you responsibility. You go up to Piper and you say,
honey,
you know,
this
welcome.
is how it works.
You know, this is how it works.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. I think that there was something under there. I always had a question. I mean, you have to, halfway through season 1, Nikki says to her, he's never come and visited you, and you need to wake up to that. And that's pretty strong. Also, there is something a little unhinged. Even if you just look at the hair and the makeup, that kind of like, survival technique. So you ask, well, what other survival techniques do we have, and what kind of fantasy land are we in? And I always felt that there was some separation between reality and fantasy for Lorna, that it was a really amazing coping mechanism that she had, and that it was something about being always chipper, everything's okay, I'm totally fine, oh, no worries, I'm just in prison, but I'm okay. There's something a little unhinged in that, you know, that constant, unending positivity. So I think that there was something in there that the writers also picked up on, and they magnified it and they exploded it. And so I wasn't totally shocked. I was rocked.
What kind of research did you do? Can you get into prison and see what it was like?
No is the short answer. I did try. It was a very quick space of time between getting the job and starting on the job, like a week.
That's nice.
And so I didn't get into prison, and I did call, and I was flatly refused, understandably. But I will say...
They refused you? No.
Refused. Oh dear. But I think for those conversations, for that understanding, we just have the research of life, where a true friendship, where someone says to you, you know what, you've done some terrible things and I love you, that's life. That's a real conversation.
Lucky.
If you're very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I think you mentioned Natasha, and I have to say it's such a joy to work with a person like that. Professionally, personally, that is a person who can say, hey, you've done some things and I love you. And I think she's so beautifully cast, and she plays that role so beautifully, and every scene I have with her, I feel a great freedom in that.
The little girl you in Australia,
Yes.
growing up, deciding this is what you're going to be. You're going to be an actor. When did that happen?
It did. I resisted that for a really long time, and even
You resisted it, so it had to be there to resist.
yes, and I
Yeah.
was actually working while I was still resisting. To be honest,
Really?
I did a film called Me, Myself, I when I was 13.
Oh, Rachel Griffiths, yes.
You are
I
incredible.
remember that.
So I played her daughter, and that happened quite by accident. You know, it was one of those silly stories. Oh, I went to an audition with a friend. I ended up getting the job.
Hey, little girl, you want to